So why do we have about 2 hours of painting from life outside, right? It doesn't matter what you paint. My name is Gabor. Welcome to my channel. One of the biggest reasons, obviously, is the sun shifts, right? Things change, shadows change. Now, if you have a cloudy day, you'll have a little bit more time. That gives you a little bit more time. The light is diffused. There's no hard shadows out there. But let's say if it is a perfectly sunny day, not much clouds, just the sun is shining. After about 2 hours, your things change. Reflected light, color temperature, all these things start changing. I had students in my class and I told everybody, I said, you have 2 hours, that's it. And I see them still after 2.5, 3 hours, they're killing that same painting. And I said, you're winging it. And it's okay if you have the experience, you can kind of stand there longer. But even then, it's roughly about that time that we have. All those haystacks that Monet painted in different light conditions, that was roughly and there were bigger canvases. He only had about roughly that time. So he had multiple canvases working on multiple days. Now you can go back to the same scene. I live in Arizona, so we have nice weather. I can go back to the same scene the next day if I'm working a larger piece and continue. I have to go back the same time, same hour, and roughly have about 2 hours. So you can do that. What I'm saying is that you have temperature change, you have shadows shifted, you have all sorts of things that changed in the scene after roughly about 2 hours. Now inside, obviously, we have the convenience of working all day. Now, if you're painting from natural light, like you have a still life, from artificial light, then everything changed, stays the same. I know Laura paints still lifes. Her studio is built specifically where the windows are. They started like 6 feet and up from there. So there's no window below 6 feet and it goes up. And she controls the light. That faces north, but she always paints from life. Always paints from life. So as she has only a certain amount of time and the seasons shift. But she's a great artist. Check out her paintings, and she makes it work. So painting from life, meaning having natural light, it's roughly in a sunny situation, I'm talking about full sunshine, roughly you have 2 hours. But within those 2 hours, you're getting more knowledge than by far as you're painting hours and hours, like 10 hours, 20 hours, 30 hours in the studio. I'm talking about the learning process now, okay? Don't get all upset as you're watching this video that, Gabor is just talking about, you can only paint from life. No, that's not what I'm saying. But once you gain your knowledge from life, that's your well, that's where you're dipping from, then you can take that knowledge in the studio and use it for advantage. It doesn't work the other way around. If somebody paints entirely and they haven't done work from life enough, I can see it right away. The shadows are too dark. Lights, everything is blown out. Everything is all over the place. It looks unnatural, and I can just tell it. You can tell that right away. That person is painting using photo references all the time. They haven't done the work outside, so it is crucial. So I do urge you to paint from life. I say life. Now that doesn't mean outside. You can, if it's too cold, set up a still life. Still life could be anything. Doesn't matter what it is, and put it by the window and paint from that light in the winter if it's too cold or if it's too nasty. So it's about painting and drawing from life. That's the only way you're gonna advance in your art. That's just the only way. There's no other way. If somebody's telling you otherwise, they're lying. There's no shortcuts on this. You have to put those hours in from life. But outside, it's roughly about 2 hours that you have. Now you can start another painting, right? Just so you started at like 8, whatever, 7:30, whatever it is, then you're done by 9, you take a little break, and then you can start another painting, you find another scene, and you have another 2 hours. So you can do this all day long. You're out there for 8 hours, you have four paintings. Ideally, I used to crank out many paintings outside, but I don't do that anymore. Usually if I can walk away with 2 paintings a day, I'm happy with that. Rest of the time, I'm walking around, gathering references, just kind of soaking in the scene. And it's okay to, by the way, to sit there and observe. There's artists that don't paint from life, but they're observing from life. They're making color notes from life, and their paintings are wonderful. But you have to spend the time in nature. You have to sit there. You have to watch the water flow, right? You have to watch those the clouds move along. You have to make notes of what temperature that cloud is from on the different sides, or as the water is moving, what's happening there. These are natural observational things that you observe from real life. Photographs and even the high definition video, it's just not going to give you that. Plus, it's fun being outside. Why wouldn't you be outside and sit there, enjoy nature, enjoy the sounds, the smells, and all these things? That's part of. I know I talk about landscape painting a lot because that's primarily I focus on that. But you can do. This could be other things too. Just observing. If you paint animals, then observe the animals too. So these things are really, really key, really important to have in your arsenal. But about 2 hours painting from life, that's what you have. After that, you're kind of winging it. Most of the professional artists that I know, that's as we paint together, that's a pattern. It's not because we're looking at each other, but it is what it is. And usually, at least for me personally, I tend to work a little bit smaller. I would say nothing bigger than 11, 14, maybe 12, 16. Again, you can paint whatever size you want. I'm just saying you still would have about roughly 2 hours to work from live. And you might live in an area where there's more clear days, so that's sort of an advantage of if you're going to paint from life. But and it could be an advantage, as I said, it could be you live in an area that doesn't have as much direct sunlight. There's more cloudy days, but then you can work a little bit longer out there because it's diffused light, and the shadows are not changing as much. So there's advantage in that too. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's making you think, and please share and subscribe. I have the information down below if you want to look at my instructional videos also, and I will see you next time. Bye.